Welcome back, my dark means, to my dark kingdom, ruled by me, Nightwolf51, with the K peel, not the cake, not with the K. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Alright, like you see the title of the video, that I've been seeing a lot of people doing, like, the decades thing, the top 10 things or some throughout the decade, and I decided, you know what, this is the first time I'm ever going to do this because I didn't have, YouTube. Sorry, recently ate. I didn't really have the chance to make a day. Heck, I didn't even start making videos until basically I think 2016. That's when Skyrim came out, right? The remastered one, right? Yeah, I can't remember on the PS4. I can't remember. Somebody let me know in the comments. But whatever year they came out, that's when I started. So I decided, you know what? This only comes around every once in a while, so I might as well do a top 10 video of my own. Except it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be the top 10 anime of the decade, but not the way that you think. It's going to be the top 10 animes that I have watched throughout the 10 years of this first decade. And yeah, it could be an anime that it was made before the 10-year thing, or it could be an anime that was made like literally close to the end of this year. But reality speaking, this is basically about animes that I can remember that I watched throughout the 10 years. Alright, so if you get confused, I'll put it up in the title. Hopefully it makes sense. But like I said, it's about anime that I watched throughout the entire decade, and this will also involve series that are still ongoing before the 10-year gap, and so on and so forth. But I'll be talking about those sections that I watched. Now, let's begin. Now just to let you know, they're not in order. They're just animes that I've watched, and hopefully I can remember them all. So we're gonna get through this top 10. Sorry that I won't be doing numbers. Please count with me if you can figure it out. Now, to get through this, first one was, I don't know, number 1, number 10. Either way, I guess we'll go for number 10 and go all the way down to 1, I guess. So, the number 10 on my list is basically Shakugan no Shana. Just to let you know, I have watched this. It was actually before when I got a little bit after I got the internet, and after we got finally a freaking Comcast back in the house, because during that time it was a little bit of a rough patch here that we didn't have internet, and I didn't have internet back then, and I was basically paying for the cable bill as much as possible, and yeah, it was kind of a little bit, and plus I was out of a job back then, so it's kind of weird. But I was watching on Comcast, and Shakugan no Shana happened to be on there, and this happened like a few years after. During the time. Yeah, I'll talk about that. And I pretty much love this show. It's fantastic. If you don't know what Shakugan no Shana, it's basically about a girl who basically is I think is a spirit. I can't remember. I could be entirely wrong. About who comes to Earth and does these kind of like exorcism thing to stop these evil creatures from taking the souls of the living people. She basically feels like Heartless, a character, but eventually she meets up with the main character, who, like I said, and just to let you know, she's called Shana. But just remember, this is all from memory, so you're just gonna get the names of the anime, and I can't remember anything else. And yeah, basically this entire journey is about these two, but the main character, who is a male, who comes along and helps her see what's happening, goes through 3 seasons, I think. Yeah, 3 seasons, and they'll go through the entire journey together, dealing with all these enemies. Her basically becoming a tsundere at one point, and basically it basically goes into a big journey where there's another girl involved, and basically this entire time, I'm not gonna spoil anything, there's another girl who basically, and which goes full circle by the end of the series. It's a fantastic show. I advise you to go watch it. And that's basically about it. I'm not gonna say anything else about it, but that is basically a show that I entirely like here. Now, to continue on with it, we have number 9, which is Fairy Tail. Yes, exactly. Like I said, these animes, as I said before, are about 10 animes that I watched throughout the 10 years. And Fairy Tail is one of them, because it was during my, it was, I think, 2010, like, literally after, was it, like, literally after the year? I think? I can't remember. Yeah. And I basically love it. I basically saw the first episode, and when it came on to, like I said, it's gonna be. I didn't have the internet, so I didn't watch online, and of course, yeah. Hopefully, I don't get copyright stuck for saying about the name of the company. But yeah, like I said, that's how I watch all my anime. Comcast had all the anime, and it's switched between them. Unfortunately, kind of finicky with the free thing because it sometimes cut off some animes and sometimes decided to keep it on. But yeah, that's basically about it. I basically enjoyed it from the first episode when they all meet up, where Lucy met Natsu in the beginning, to all the way up to basically finishing the anime this year. Exactly. I literally finished the anime Fairy Tail this year. Hilarious how it went from, it's basically full circle for me, how I started it in 2010 and then ended it all the way up here to, what was it, to 2019. And now with 2019 coming along and ending, it's basically a full circle for me. Basically the entire journeys of everything. Even though I do have some things to talk about, but I'll talk about that in some other video about my theories, how this entire series kind of goes up and down in certain sections. But yeah, I have to say I love Fairy Tail, and I believe that everybody should start watching this when they get the chance, or be their gateway anime in here. Just to let you know, there is some fan service, so be ready for those. But I really do like this anime, and I hope you guys will enjoy it too. Now, number 8 on my list, what was it? Will be Sword Art Online. Yes, Sword Art Online. Just to let you know, I do like Sword Art Online. Well, the first season until it gets to Alfheim, and then it goes downhill after that. Alfheim was still pretty good. It's just it got way out of control, and then up till now, which current season is, well, a bit up and down for me, especially with the current battle. But even still, I did like the series, and I just wish it was done a little bit better. But I do enjoy how Kirito has been and fighting alongside here, and basically with Asuna alongside it, and him getting his entire harem. It's pretty nice to see how this all turned out. How he fights against all these people, how he gets other people to join him. But I am still a little bit finicky about this one because you know how this series goes throughout here. Makes no sense in certain parts, especially the season before the Alice arc. Was it before the movie? There we go. It kind of a little bit weird on that one, but yeah, I do feel that it can still be improvements, and hopefully when I watch the current season, that it will be pretty good too. Now, no, what was it, like 10, 9, yeah, 8, 9, I'm 8. Okay, so number 7 on my list, I hope you guys are keeping count, because I'm not putting any numbers on the screen. Jeez, this is going to be a pain in the butt. Number 7 on my list would be, of course, One Punch Man, because I've actually pretty much liked this show. If you haven't heard of One Punch, you've either been living under a rock, or you just ignored it. But One Punch Man is basically every hero combined into one person, and it's just a joke to basically anybody over in here in the West. I think it's the West. Yeah, and I pretty much like to show how he just punches anything, especially when he fights against the first enemy, which is where he fights all these enemies, and nobody cares that he's a hero or not, because no spoilers or something, that, oh my gosh, you'll see it on the title. Yeah, and when he fights against the mosquito that keeps fighting, and he finally gets the mosquito, I guess, kinda, and who is Han, I have to say, and finally defeats, and then I guess generals under his command. Hilariously, he meets all these hilarious cast characters, and I'm currently watching the season right now. And just to let you know, I have like Anime Friday, and then there's Saturday. Adult Swim has anime on there, so I'm watching Adult Swim. Just to let you know, and it's pretty awesome how I see he gets to meet all these cast of characters, and currently the new favorite in there. So that's basically what I have to say about One Punch, and how pretty good it is. Now, number 6 on my list will have to be what was it? No, not that one. That one took, even though it was pretty good. I'm trying to remember 6. Oh yeah, the final season, the second season of Inuyasha, which was finally going to conclude the series. That one was pretty good, and I'm going to be talking about the second half, not the first half, because like I said, I've already watched it, and that was before the 10-year thing. But I have to say, I loved the second half, how it built up how the final season, how all the questions have been answered, and it ended up beautifully, and absolutely loved it. Inuyasha is basically one of the few enemies that helped me were brought in. I don't know, is this 6 or 5 right now? Let's see. They're just consider 5 and be done with it. I hope you're counting with me, because I have no idea where I'm at. I'll probably do a bonus one just to fill in the gap. But yeah, number 5 was Inuyasha, I think, or 6. Yeah, either one. I'll have a bonus. Sorry, I hit my mic. Bonus one down below. But yeah, I need to start writing some of this stuff down. But either way, I really love the second half, and I hope that you guys watch. If you haven't watched Inuyasha, I highly suggest it, because it's a pretty fun show, a pretty exciting show. Basically, with the Inuyasha, with I forgot, with Kagome and their companions, and it was pretty hilarious, and I absolutely love how it ended the series, where we finally got to see the end of this series, and I absolutely loved it. I guess this is number 6. Hold up. I talked about Shaka no Sha, Fairy Tail, Sword Art Online, One Punch. Yeah, Inuyasha 6. Okay, so number 5. And let's see, number 5 would have to be Dragon Ball Z, the recent season that basically ended, just not that much. I know there was all that controversy, but I really do love how Dragon Ball Z had this season here, and it was pretty good, and I pretty much love how they did it from the beginning to the end of the season. And even though we might not see another Dragon Ball Z in the same format, hopefully that we'll be able to get to see more Dragon Ball Z seasons after this. But I pretty much loved how this series came out, and how it got it from Goku starting from here, from it started from the movie of, what was it, from Beerus's journey from the beginning, and continuing on from that to where he goes to fight the gods, fights against in a tournament where the gods will see him fight. And it's a pretty lengthy part, some fillers, but all of them are pretty good, and I absolutely loved how this series ended it off, and how it began it, how it went to the middle part. And like I said, there is some fillers here, but if you can bear with it, you'll enjoy it as well, like I did. Alright, moving on to number 4, I have to say the Naruto Shippuden part of Naruto. Now, here's the thing, the first part of the Naruto, before they get to Madara. Because, of course, after Madara attacks, my god, the amount of fillers that are in there is tremendous, and my gosh, that's a pain in the butt. Before that, there was not that much fillers, I think. I may be wrong, but I absolutely like how Naruto has grown from this point. And just to let you know, I have not seen this. I've only seen one other time, but since I saw it in this season, I pretty much loved how this series is. And how far Naruto's gone from getting to this point to where he fights against Madara. And I'm still currently watching the series, but even still, I also pretty much love it how Hinata finally got up the courage to tell Naruto she loved him, even though he didn't hear it. But I also really loved how it gone to this point, and how Naruto has basically grown so much, and it's basically much more serious here than it is, than he was in the past, because he's still the goofball, but not as much. He still is the all-can-do person, but now he's actually fighting for the purpose and fighting for people around him, and that's basically impresses me a lot. So, just to let you know, this is just my opinions on these shows. So if you want to go after me in the comments, so be it, but even still, I still like these series in my own way. Now, onward to number 3. Now, I'm trying to remember some of these animes for a while, and trying to see what I watched throughout the decade. High School DxD, the entire series so far. I have watched the entire series in its entirety so far. And I have to say, obvious reasons why it's on the list. Come on. It's literally on the list for one reason. It's basically full of plot and plot, if you can catch the difference. And I absolutely love this series, especially with the main character Issei, who has literally been from just a weakling person to an all-around badass to basically getting a harem of different factions under his command, and he has a way that he wants a harem, and he literally doesn't care. He wants a harem under his command. He wants to be the god of harems at this point. But of course, there's Riaz, who basically fell for him now, and now she doesn't want that to happen. Which, hopefully, when the next season, if it ever comes out, can we have Riaz at least be lying up on the harem thing? Because she's letting him do this. Seriously, if you haven't seen the series, I don't know what you've been doing, but I love how it went for the first season, to the second season, and the second season, and the third season, tremendously. How he gets his first group of harem girls, how he gets his second group, he gets his third, and it's all fun. Especially when he gets berated by the other ones, which, obviously, yeah, he gets berated. Like I said, you can obviously see. Like I said, I have no idea. These are not chronologically order, so either one, if you think any of these deserve to be in what part of the order here, make up your list in the comments. And that's about it for High School DxD. If you want any more information, heck, I'll make videos on each of them. But either way, I do like the fact how ESA has went from being a competent fool to basically being a badass for the first 2 seasons. Still a little bit iffy. I do like the third season, but I don't know why they had to make an episode about the final episode battle with Issei. I don't know. Either way, hopefully the next season, if it ever comes out, comes out. Now, for the number 2 slot is obviously, I gotta say, IS. Infinite Stratos. I've seen it this year. Like I said, I'm talking about anime that I remember. So if there's any other animes that I forgot, I'm sorry. But either way, this is my top 10 list of animes that I've seen throughout the decade. Not that came out within the decade, alright? Heck, I don't even know if any of these animes came out within the 10 years. And of course, we have, Naruto on here. But as well. Now, number 2 is Infinite Stratos. Of course, there's also the same thing, but the plot. But also because there's the main character who's a complete and utter idiot. I mean, seriously. Oh my gosh, how idiotic. I can't remember his name because he's such an idiot that he's so forgetful here. I forgot his freaking name. So if you know his name, please let me. Heck, if you know any of the characters that I might have forgotten here, let me know down below. And yeah, I can't remember his name. But he basically has a harem girls. All of them want him, and yet he's a completely dumb idiot that doesn't realize it. He has a sister complex. He basically got his 2 child friends, a English girl, a French girl, a German girl. Sorry, I got the character there. And 2 twins. I mean, that's an entire harem right there. And he's getting the teacher, his sister's assistant as well. And my gosh, the amount of idiocy that he is. My gosh, amazes me. And each one wants his butt, and he doesn't see that. And it just amazes me to no end. But it makes it funny how this is. I've watched the first 2 seasons. Hopefully there'll be another season later on. But if not, yeah, that's about it. That's basically about what it is. And yeah, I don't know what else. Now, before we continue on, I will give you some honorable mentions before we go to number 1. And I will give you some of the other animes that I watched. There's the Otaku Teacher. There is, what was it? Yeah, there's a Otaku Teacher. I had them in my head! Yeah, if you want to hear anything, there's the Otaku Teacher. Yeah, that's all I can remember. Hold up. I'm gonna try to remember here. Oh man, it's taking too long here. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's what was it? There is the recent Lupin the Third Part 4 and 5. There is, what was it? Dr. Stone that recently came out. What else is happening here? I know there's some other animes that I'll probably forget. I'll probably remember them after this video. What was it? Oh, there's One Piece, of course. There's One Piece, of course, which is pretty good, and I love. If you haven't heard of any of these ones, I recommend you watch them. One Piece, of course. I'm sorry that didn't put it on the list, but yeah, I still love it the same way. But these are just my preferences. And what else? I really can't remember anything else. If you want me to make another video about, oh wait, no, never mind the video because it's top 10. And yeah, I can't remember anything else. I'm trying my best here that I can remember within the 10 years, but some of them I watched before the 10-year thing, so it's gonna be pretty hard here. Shut up, Tablet Chan! Oh, she always does this. I can't. Oh, she always keeps doing this. Interrupts me in my entire. I know she's doing this on purpose. She's doing this on purpose. And I have two, so it makes it double trouble there. Yeah. All right. Whatever. I'll continue on with this unless my freaking console does that. Okay, now that's about it. Now let's move on to the number one anime that I like. And basically, like I said, they're not in order, but I didn't keep the first one for my likable things, and that is Overlord. All the seasons, I absolutely love that series. If you haven't seen it, I absolutely implore you to watch it. It's basically what happens if the main protagonist was basically an evil ruler. It's in the name anyway, and he basically causes so much mayhem. I absolutely love this anime where you can play as when you get to watch the villain be the protagonist. He's the antagonist and the protagonist, and I absolutely love that. Trust me, I've seen so much anime, played so many video games that involves you being the hero all the time, playing on the good guys, helping them out, and blah blah blah. It just gets boring after a while. Just playing as a villain just refreshes me, and having to watch an anime where you get to play as a villain makes me so happy, and it just refreshes me to no end. And I absolutely love that fact. And plus he's a skeleton, which I don't know why, but I pretty much like the undead and series. I don't know what it is. I like the undead. There's so much other characters in here, but I just like the undead even more. And I pretty love how basically Overlord basically is the skeleton too, and his minions who are by his side, his loyal minions who are willing to serve him. And I really like the fact that he has two voice actors. I think they're two different voice actors. Maybe they're two different voice actors. Where basically when he talks in his head and he talks in his other voice when he's in his character, I really like that. I absolutely love that. I've seen so much games and anime and watched so much anime where, heck, even in manga, I put two voices on these characters just so I could read, and having since there's two beings, he's a character, I should put two voices, and I absolutely love that fact. There's so many anime and so much video games that put the same voice actor, and it doesn't have that much oomph in it. And I absolutely love Overlord for this. Also, just so that you know, this has no correlation to the game Overlord, which is not the app one, not the skeleton dude. I mean, there's another Overlord game out there. Trust me, look it up. Say the Overlord game, and you'll probably find it. But yeah, I absolutely love this series to no end, and which is why, in my opinion, it is on number one. Like I said, this is my best anime so far. All the other ones, I can't put them in any part of the list because, I can't find them. I can't think of anything because I'm not pretty good at making lists, and I just put number one as the best one I can put in. But that's about it. That's my top 10 list of the anime that I have watched. Of the anime that I watched and that I think are the best throughout the decade of these last 10 years that I can remember. And I absolutely implore you to watch any of these, even the honorable mentions one, who basically I love and adore. If you don't like any of these, well, that's your guys' opinion. If you think any other animes should be on the list that came out throughout the 10 years here, let me know. Right now, let me know in the comments as well. If you have any other animes that came out that I didn't know of, please, like I said, let me know. There was so much anime out there that I just can't put them on the top 10 list at once. Heck, maybe next year I'll put top 10, top 20 next year. But I possibly don't know. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I absolutely hope you like to watch them as well. And also, just to let you know, before we end this video, I will be doing more top 10s for the final parts. Basically, I'm going to be doing a top 10 gaming video, gaming ones that I played throughout the 10 years, which will be easy because I got a bunch of games there that I absolutely love. And I will be doing a top 10 things that happened to me throughout the years of this last decade. And then I'll end it this year off with me talking about what happened throughout the year of 2019 and how what possibly hopefully will change for next year. But yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions about all the animes, or if you want me to like make videos of each of these animes that I watched in depth, I will be happy to make them for you because I really love all these animes. Heck, if you want me to make another top 10 list of the animes that I watched, let me know down in the comments as well. And like I said, this is the anime list. It will be on the title. And there's gonna be a spoilers thing up there, but of course you already saw it. And there'll be a gaming one, and there'll be a top 10 things that happened to me, of course. So be throughout this week, yeah, including Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I may be able to squeeze those in because it is the final days of the year, and I want to get those out as fast as much as possible. Now that's about it. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the year, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed all the animes that are coming out. And for the new animes that are coming out next year, which will be on the list, probably be on the next year's list. But yeah, that's about it. Like, subscribe down below, comment down below if you think I did good here, or I should try to putting the numbers on this list or somehow, or let me know down in the comments if I did bad. Like the video or dislike it if you didn't. And press the bell next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever my videos come out. Or just come to my channel because, of course, YouTube doesn't bother. Especially when next year is going to be it. I'm not going to do a top 10 worst things on this list because we want to end this off with a happy note, alright? But if you still want me to do a top 10 worst things that happened to me, let me know down in the comments and I'll be happy to do that after I do the final thing. And yeah, that's about it. I got nothing left here. And yeah, there's nothing. Now, that's if I forgot anything, let me know down in the comments. Alright. And also share this video because I would really like to hear other people's opinions on the series that are on this list. Alright, now, My Dark Minions. Oh, just to let you know, yes, all these animes that I watched are dubbed. May you rage in the comments. Now, My Dark Minions, dismissed.